guys, it's Sheila Shimmers. Welcome back to my channel. Today is actually a different video because I'm actually going to a wedding on Saturday and I didn't really know what kind of makeup I wanted to wear, and then I figured that I don't really see on YouTube like wedding guest makeup looks, so I kind of wanted to do that today, as well as just, you know, playing around with my makeup and figuring out what it is that I want to use. So my dress is burgundy. I didn't really have a shirt that was burgundy. I just picked this red one because it's the closest thing that I had. So I think I want to go for something a little bit more either brown smoky or something a little bit more subtle. So that is where my head is at. I don't really know what I'm going to use, but I brought some things down. I have a Jaclyn Hill palette. I have the Sephora Pro palette for my face. I also, like, it's out of state, so I definitely want to pick stuff that I can, you know, pack lightly. And I also have my Makeup Geek palette, which this shadows are probably expired by now, but I love them so much, and most of them are discontinued and I just can't get enough of them. I still use them. I also brought down the Modern Renaissance from IVH, and I also have the Natasha Sunset palette. So I'm just going to be staring at them, kind of figuring out what it is that I want to do, but let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to bring you guys down to like what I do when I'm prepping for a very heavy makeup that I want it to last like all night. Alright, so I mentioned this a million times. The first thing that I always do is go with my Mario Badescu skincare. This one is the facial spray. They have different ones. I just like this one. I honestly just pick whichever I see first. So I just spray my face with all this and then I go ahead and prime. So I'm just going to be doing that. I have this one in the small version for travel, which is great, but I also have the big one upstairs because I use it every morning. So while that sets, I'm going to be using the Timeless Smoothing Primer by Tarte. And I'm just going to be taking a little bit. I'm actually running out of this and it's going to break my heart when it happens because I love this thing. I really hope this little pimple that I have over here, like a third eye, goes away by Saturday, because what is this? What is the disrespect? I don't understand. I want to put the Hydro Grip Primer by Milk, but I don't want it to break me out before the wedding comes. So just know that I'll be using that like on the rest of my face. I really love that primer, but unfortunately it does break me out. So for today's video, I'm just gonna go like this with a little bit of my face primed and the rest isn't. I'm just going to start with my brows because it's the first thing that I use. This is my go-to, my holy grail brow product. It's by Kiko Milano. It is called the Eyebrow Sculpt Automatic Pencil. I just went through one of these. I just emptied it. It's going to be an upcoming empties video, but this is in the shade 05. I think it's a brunette shade, and honestly, this is so good. You do get your product on one side and you do get the spoolie on the other. It's just a great product. It's not too waxy. It's not too dry. It's also not too creamy, which is something that honestly upsets me with brow products. So I really like eyebrow pencils, but I do treat them kind of like a pomade, and I just kind of like color in my brow because I don't have, where I have the most problems on my brow is kind of like the arc where I don't really have it, so I have to like draw it in. But I also don't want it to look too overly dramatic, so I'm just gonna, you know, make this part right here the darkest, and then everything else I'm just gonna like kind of fade it a little bit. So for me, the eyebrows are a little wonky today, but we're just gonna go with that. I'm gonna be applying this little stickers that I got from Amazon, their eyeshadow pad. All right, so I found it. This is a P. Louise base in the shade Rumor, which is their second shade. It's much lighter than my skin tone, but I just like going with a very bright lid because you're gonna cover all that up anyways. So I'm gonna be taking this with this Sigma concealer brush, and I'm just covering up my lid. I'm also going to be carving out my brows, and then whatever's left I'm just going to take to the top and kind of clean it up on the top. I don't want them to be too cut out, you know. And I'm just going to kind of blend this out on the top of my brows and then the center as well, and then on the actual lids I'm just going to kind of tap it on like this. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. I'm just going to pick up eyeshadow palettes. And honestly, I really want to use the Jaclyn Hill one, but these shadows do tend to irritate my eyes. So I don't know. I don't really want to use Morphe, so I think it's going to be a pass for me. The Natasha one is really nice, but I feel like it doesn't have the shades that I do want to use. Don't think I want to go that brownish. So I don't think this one is going to be the one today. So I'm going to start with the Renaissance one. I don't know if I'm going to finish up the look with this one, but this is what I'm going to do. To start with, I'm going to be taking this shade right here, which is Raw Sienna. It's been ages since I've used this shadows. Honestly, I used to love Modern Renaissance, and I just I don't know. Like Anastasia Beverly Hills had some of my favorite shadows like back 3 or 4 years ago, but lately I don't know what they've been doing, and I feel like the only time that I felt like excited with their shadows again is probably with the Jackie Aina one, and I feel like I still have to see it like in person to see how I feel about that one, to see if I want to buy it. I did purchase it for one of my friends, so maybe I'll ask her if she likes it when she uses it, but I just don't feel inspired by the ones that have been coming out lately, especially the Nervina one, like the big square one that just came out. It just feels like every other palette, every other colorful palette that I do have, and I'm back into those like neutral moods, you know what I mean? So it's hard for me to like get my head around buying another colorful palette right now. So I'm gonna jump right here onto Burnt Orange. This is one of my favorite shades of the palette. As you can see, this is such a nice shade. Love this shade. Maybe I'll like fall back in love with this palette after using it today. I'm gonna go with Red Ochre, but I'm not gonna put too much of it. Still using the same little brush that I had, and I'm putting this on the outer corner. So I'm softly going over that. Like I said, I don't want it to look too red because my dress is already gonna be red. So there's no point of like emphasizing the red. Yes, I'm really liking this. All right, so I'm gonna take a flat brush and I'm gonna go for a matte shade. I'm gonna dig into the Sundown palette by CC Color. This one is kind of like a dupe for the Huda Beauty one, as you can see right there, the Desert Dusk. And I'm gonna take this shade right here. They don't have names, guys, so I'm sorry. This is a shade that I'll be taking. This palette is so like I'm just gonna be putting this kind of like in the inner corner right here. And since I don't want it to be like a very dramatic look, I'm not gonna use like any concealer on the on the inner corner. I don't want it to be like a cut crease or anything like that. I just want it to be like a very soft. And now I'm just gonna be taking a soft shimmer. I think I'm actually gonna be going with one of these shimmers versus the Anastasia one, just because these look a lot more vibrant. And I think I'm gonna go for this one right here. So let's do it. I'm gonna apply this with my finger, just because I feel like it just looks really nice. You could definitely wear this. You could definitely just use your brush, but I just feel like this way I can probably get a little bit more of a, you know, like a messy look on the lid. All right, so the next step is actually eyeliner. I'm gonna be using a brown one because I don't want it to be too dark. And I don't want it to kind of clash. Like I feel like black and burgundy just clash a little bit in my opinion. I'm using this gel eyeliner from Sigma. This one's in the shade Stunningly Ladylike. I'm actually gonna take Cypress Umber from the Anastasia one, and this is just the darkest brown right here. And I'm taking a little bit of this with this Luxie 141 brush, and I'm just gonna literally go over it and kind of blend it out. I'm gonna try to make just this part a bit smoky. So I'm just gonna move on to the face. I'm gonna be color correcting under my eyes because I don't want anything to show under my eyes. So I'm using this palette by Curlan, and I'm gonna be using this center color right here. This red is just a concealer and contouring palette, and this one is just in the shade USA. I know there's some other ones that you can get by other brands. Like I think RCMA has one. I'm not really sure, but you can probably get this at Camera Ready Cosmetics. I'm gonna be blending this in. You definitely want to blend out your color corrector. So I'm gonna go onto this shade right here, and this one is the one I'm gonna be using for concealer. So I'm just gonna be placing this underneath my eyes. I'm gonna be using this one by RCMA. It brings 5 different shades. So I really wanna have like a nice under eye that nothing creases, nothing shows, you know. So with this one, I'm gonna also be covering up those little pimples that I have that are just very red. You don't wanna have anything left from that color corrector when you go put your foundation on, so make sure that you cover it up with some concealer or just some concealer palette like this one, just whatever you have. If you like it in paste, if you like it liquid. Taking the darkest shade, which is this one right here, and with this one I'm just gonna contour. So I'm gonna be putting this one on my cheeks. This one's not gonna get me too dark, but I can always just bring in the darkest one from the Curlan palette as well. And I can always use this like over top of my foundation before I set it with powder. So this is just a very versatile product that I recommend for everyone to have, because you can just kind of like paint on your face, you know? It's fun. All right, so now it's time to blend, but I'm first gonna be taking just the darkest shade from the Corlan palette, because I wanna just darken it up a little tiny bit. So I'm gonna do with this one, not putting too much, and I'm just gonna go right here on my cheeks. Don't forget that you're also gonna cover this up with some bronzer, like a powder bronzer, so don't go too crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and blend. I'm just gonna be taking my beauty sponge, and I'm just gonna start blending. More than blending with products like this one, there's not a lot of blending to do, but more like adhering it to your skin, because I do have some other concealer palettes like this one that are very, very much, you know, thicker, and there's a lot of blending going on. With this one, it's kind of just like, it's kind of already set onto your skin. You just gotta like pat it in. My favorite foundation to use over top of things like this when I contour underneath my face, and just for really special occasions in general. This one is a Studio Fix by MAC, and I use this one in the shade NC25. It's great for special events. I recommend this one for brides all the time. I'd rather be safe than sorry, so I'm just gonna be putting a little bit. You're gonna see that we're not gonna use a lot of foundation today, just because we did all that prepping on our skin. The only thing we might go with a little bit is a little bit more concealer. Using just a tiny bit of concealer just to make sure that it gets to really full coverage. And I'm going to be going with the Jouer concealer. This one is Essential High Coverage Concealer, and this one is in the shade Creme Brulee. So I'm literally just putting a tiny bit of this. To set everything, I'm going to be using this Chanel powder. This one is in the shade Translucent. It's one of my favorite powders. I recommend it. It is such a nice powder. I have literally never tried a powder like this one. It's just the best. But obviously, the powder is what's going to make like your makeup last all day. So you want to make sure you use a good one and something that's not going to like emphasize your dry areas. And then I just like patting whatever's left all over my face. So now let's move ahead to bronzing, blush, and highlight. It's just a Sephora Pro face palette. I have it in the shade medium, and this is how it looks like. I'm going to start with Groundbreaking right here, even though it's a little bit too dark, but that's what I'm going to go with. For blush, I'm going to be taking it from the same palette, although I feel like the highlights on this are a little bit too dramatic for what I'm going for. But I'm going to take Flossy, and I'm going to use this blush on my cheeks. For highlight, I'm going to be taking this Fenty Beauty, and this one is the How Many Carats Diamond Bomb. This is it right here. I love this. If you have seen my channel, I'm obsessed with this thing. It is such a nice little highlight, and it's very subtle but also like very glittery, super cute. I love it so much. So first thing I'm going to be doing is taking the darkest shade, which is Cypress Umber, which is this brown, and I'm going to put this very close to my lash line, kind of on the waterline. Orange, which is this one, and I'm going to blend all of that out. I'm taking for this the Morphe M506. All right, looking good. I'm going to be applying some mascara, and I'm going to be using the Telescopic Mascara by L'Oreal. Some Vermeer on my inner corner, which is the same shade that I used from the ABH palette on my brow bone, but I kind of forgot, so I'm going to be doing that in a second. And you guys see that? For lipstick, I'm taking this NYX lip liner in the shade Mahogany, and then I'm taking the Huda Beauty liquid matte lipstick in the shade Wifey. So if you don't like lashes, this is where you would leave it. It honestly looks stunning. I really, really like this, especially with such a dark dress. I'm going to have like a long burgundy dress, and it's a solid color. So I didn't want something super dramatic on my eyes, but I do want to put a little bit of, you know, lashes on right now just to give a little oomph, and I think we're going to be ready to go. So the style I'm using is actually from JCat Beauty. These are very inexpensive. This one is the style ELT VTL09. These are so small. Honestly, I have it on my right eye. So unnoticed, like you can't barely tell that I have lashes on. It is such a stunning lash. Alright guys, so this is the final result. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's very hard for people to just pick out what you're wearing, especially for a wedding occasion. There's so many things to think about. You don't want makeup to be one of them. This is such a quick and easy thing to do. I know it took me forever, but honestly, it would take me like maybe 25 minutes to just whip this look up, and using all the products that I used, which I think it was pretty lengthy process because I did use a lot of things that I don't usually use on my like regular makeup routine. But I feel like honestly it just looks so good, and the fact that we set the whole face, we use some products underneath the foundation, is really gonna make everything last and just look really pretty throughout the night, and that just really makes a difference. The last thing that I would do, and I kind of forgot to say this, is I spray my face with some setting spray. So I really like the MAC Fix Plus. I feel like that one is my favorite. There's also the Urban Decay All Nighter, which I have this little ball right here. I'll probably be taking this one with me. There's also the Morphe one. I feel like that works really nice as well. And if you want a drugstore option, there's the Wet n Wild Cucumber Water Drop Primer, and there's also the Milani Make It Last. But I really did enjoy making this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if I nailed it. Let me know if I like was really bad at this and this is not the look that I should be going for. And yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Let me know below. I want to hear your comments. So as always, please don't forget to subscribe below and like this video, and I will see you guys on my next one. Bye!